Going live. Going live. We're live.
Welcome to Do As We Do. I'm Josh.
And I'm Shay.
If you're watching this right now, chances are you're not here. Kinda, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's hard. Multi-universes and matrixes and
Different universes.
all kinds of stuff. It's interesting. The timelines are interesting.
They are.
Before we do that, I am proud to announce that my son is 3 years old.
Ayo.
He may not make it to 4. He's had 3 good years. But he may not make it to 4. We'll see. His mother might kill him tonight. Don't know. If I'm not here next week,
You know why?
chances are. But he is 3.
He's been wild with his toys.
It started before that. It really did. I mean, it was like day of his birthday started.
Well, yeah, he's a big boy now.
Oh, something switched, man. Something flipped.
Well, that 2-year-old brain became
But-
that 3-year-old brain.
But we had a great day Saturday. He didn't have a problem. Not a single problem all day Saturday. So that's great.
That's good.
Yeah. On top of that, I'm tired.
Samesies.
It's been a long weekend, and I gotta go to Lake Isabella tomorrow.
Ayo.
I'll be tired tomorrow. But it's October, so we have a nice long month. So I'm not exactly dying.
This is true.
What else?
It's Spooktober.
Oh, Spooktober. Yes. And for Spooktober, we're sitting there with, well, I mean, my channel's doing spooky. I'm trying to do basically horror-themed games, streaming only. We did end up playing a little bit of League of Legends at the end of one of my streams, which is cool.
That's good.
Uh,
I mean, you don't have chat open, but that
No.
chat's pretty scary.
As best I can, I have, I don't mess with that chat on League. I don't touch it. That's kind of cool. Did you see new Mountain Dew's new flavor?
Yeah.
It's called Clear.
Yeah. Is Mountain Dew water?
Yeah, you know how they have Pepsi Crystal? This is Mountain Dew Clear. Literally, the whole bottle is just so fluorescent and clear that you just see things behind you.
Mountain Dew zombie?
Yeah, ooh, that would be a cool one. Like Voodoo, but zombie.
Yeah.
Don't take it from us, Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew Wonder Waff.
We came up with most of this stuff. Don't take it from us.
Don't do this.
We did have some nice Del Taco just now. And we forgot to grab the Bernie brand.
We should have done it.
We forgot to grab it.
Things happen, you know. Sometime in the midst of, man, we need to eat this real quick so we can start doing this. It happens.
Yeah. We're starting early tonight. I'm sure someone will be like, it's only 7:30. Yep. Got to get into this because this might take a little more than an hour. Speaking of which, you need to turn on the Audacity.
Ayo, you're right.
So that we can also get an audio version of this one because,
Yeah, this is going to be a long
where
one.
we're still chilling. We're chilling hardcore in there.
Have those
Spain is coming
guys,
through
Spain
strong.
still been downloading?
Oh, they've downloaded everything that there is.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, they've downloaded everything. So go ahead. We can just start.
Whoa, audio, when did you get here?
No, they just walked through the door. They just walked through. Look at this bullcrap on these arms right here, guys. Look at that. Your arm is massive compared to mine.
It'd be like that.
Like Popeye arms, man. Goodness gracious.
It's always funny because I work at a furniture store. So a lot of the times if they see me lifting something, they're like, holy crap. And a lot of times, I don't know why, it's a horrible idea. People should never do this. Look at those arms!
They don't touch people.
Especially when they're lifting something.
Yeah. There is a point in time when you can touch people. When they're lifting heavy objects, probably not the best time.
It's happened to me a couple of times. Most of the people are like, whoa, look at that size. I'm like, yee.
You're like, yeah.
They ask me, hey, do you work out? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Oh, really? Where do you go? Here.
Everywhere.
No, just here.
I do it all. I do lifting of things that are heavy, and they do these things to me.
Yes.
It's kind of one of those impressive little talks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I missed it before I worked at the furniture store because people were like, how did you get so big? I sat down and played video games.
Yeah, that was genetics. Genetics made you big.
Yeah.
And now I lift heavy things,
Yeah.
which makes me bigger.
Yes. I have noticed severely over the last couple of weeks that I have bulked up and slimmed down because me and Josh just today were just looking at thumbnails. I'm like, man, I was so much pudgier.
Fluffier.
Pudgier.
Yeah.
You know, you never say the word fat, but, pudgier.
Yeah. And when girls fart, apparently it's called fluffing.
Yes. And I call it ripping a new one.
It's called farting. You just about ripped your butthole in half because you just let something that's bad out.
Yes.
That's okay. It's okay to fart.
It's natural.
Nobody cares. Just don't try and lie about it.
I fluffed. Hey, you bluffed.
Yeah.
Good bluff.
Look, it disappears when it's in my arms.
Whoa, it's reappeared.
Anyways, getting to this, like I said, we got a little bit of thing, but we wanted to mention Birdie Brand hot sauce because they're amazing.
So good.
You guys can go check that out on birdiebrand.com. Just search up Google Birdie Brand. You'll find it.
It's good. It's also. Wait,
yeah, go ahead.
I need to do it one of these days. I'll do it. Should be in the description.
It should be.
Should be.
It should be in there. And you know what?
It should be in there.
Chances are it's in there. Take a second look. You never know. You never know. Maybe it's in the comments.
I hope it is.
But I did want to mention, because Bernie Brand's our sponsor, we are having. That's not having nor norving. That's having.
We're having a good one, mate.
We're having a contest-like thing. Basically, on Facebook, we have a post that you guys can go and share out. You share it, you like the post that we put on our Facebook, and then hit the comment section and put done. That way I know you shared it out. I can check on you. I will check on you. And randomly, in about a week and a half or 2 weeks or something like that, we're going to be drawing one of the names that shared us out.
Ooh. And
that person will get a spicy hot box.
A spicy meatball.
Right in their box.
Their P.O. box.
Yep. You'll be getting some Bernie Brand merchandise.
Ayo.
And if
Can
we
I do it?
no.
Oh.
And if we get a lot of people participating, we might choose 2.
Ooh yo.
Depends on how many there is. If there's 4 people like there is right now, it's going to be one person going to get it. And it'll be a box. It'll be set nice.
Nice and
So you guys definitely want to go check that out on our Facebook. That's Facebook/Two Dudes Would Do.
We hope.
You can search it up. You'll find us. It's the Two Dudes Would Do podcast.
Yeah. We there. It's
all
it's the icon.
Yeah. You guys can find it.
Yeah.
And that is in the description.
Yeah, actually, it's also on the channel, too. If you click onto the channel, on the top right corner, you should just click the Facebook icon.
Facebook icon.
Yep, problem solved.
Yep. Also on audio, in case you guys are wondering. It's in the audio. It's always there. It's even in the audio description, just so you know. Getting on to the story at hand, what we were kind of starting with is the idea of multiple universes.
Now,
of course,
guys,
you guys know the title.
I warn you this on every video we do of
in.
this series. This is zombies. It's gonna be long.
Let me tell you, we've done zombies about 8 times because we kind of broke it up into sections, and each time we just kind of discussed the zombie game, the maps in the game, and kind of what we liked about it, and the perks. And we've talked about the guns. We've talked about all kinds of stuff like that.
Yes.
We never really touched on the storyline, mainly because the storyline was still ongoing.
It was ongoing. It had been ongoing for, at this point now, 10 years.
That's a long time.
It's a long story.
And it didn't even start at the beginning.
It didn't. See, this is the fun part of zombies. This story is so messed up in timelines, it's not even funny. Like, Josh was doing his research last night, and I told him, it's bad.
It's very long.
I'm like, it's bad. It's really confusing. It's deep. It's confusing. It all makes sense when you have all the puzzle pieces. Yeah. But this is like a 1,500-piece puzzle piece.
Yeah, literally, it's like dumping a box of puzzles on the ground and going, okay, put it together. Where's the picture? Well, just find out. You'll figure it out.
And how we understand the story, which is even harder to find out, is you have to solve Easter eggs, uncipher ciphers, and sometimes doing Easter eggs to get a cipher so you can uncipher it.
Yeah.
This is a very long process.
Just know that we didn't do it.
No, we've done
we did research for it. We found people that found it, and we were able to put things together because of it. And we really didn't even go that in depth
because I know the story decently well.
The storyline as like a snapshot, in a sense. These are the pivotal moments.
Yes. This
is kind of what leads the whole storyline. And there's more to it. This is just the bone. If you were to look at a human body, this is the skeleton.
This is not the meat.
No, this isn't nervous systems. This isn't organs. This isn't tissues. This isn't brain matter. This is nothing but straight bones.
This is bone meal.
Yeah. This is what is structuring the whole thing so you can get an idea. So in case somebody shows up and is like, hey, let's talk zombies. you can have somewhat
of a knowledge.
And be able to kinda stay in talks with them.
So, for instance, we're not going to be throwing out dates. We're not going to be throwing out where it's happening.
I have some dates, like, where this is supposedly happening in time, but really it's not, like, actual, like, release dates.
Because the fun part is, not only does there multiple universes, there's time travel.
Yeah, so it's like, it goes through one time set, and then all of a sudden, at one point in time, it goes back in time.
Or forward in time.
Going back in time.
Back in time.
So, I mean, it's like, yeah, we can throw out some kind of guideline for the first part, the first run-through,
Yep.
we'll throw some dates out, but it's more of just so you can have an idea of what kind of era it is, what they're talking about, and then at a certain point, it's just like, it's not even worth it. Because then they go into the future, too.
Yep.
That being said, this is a really basic... I mean, not as basic as this one guy. Oh, I'll just do it right now. There's a guy on Reddit.
My boy.
Yeah, let me get his name so we don't mess it up, because...
He cracked me up when I listened to it. Like, this is like the simplest way of explaining the storyline from World at War all the way to Black Ops 3.
It's beyond impressive, really. I just gotta get it. I sent it to myself.
Ah.
I said, I'm not gonna mess this up. I'm gonna send this to myself.
I can't find it.
RapCat55. RAPKAT55 on Reddit. Okay? That's the guy's name. If you want to go give him some love, give him some love. Some upvotes, whatever. I don't even know how Reddit really works.
You do upvotes, but this post is a year old. I'm sure he'll appreciate the karma no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, karma's good.
And he'll see it like, oh, people are still looking at this. Yeah, they're still looking at this. Especially with the ending coming.
With the ending that just happened about a month ago.
So, for you older people, this is how you're going to be able to understand this. Our age and lower, we'll probably be able to go a little more in detail when we go into it, but this is for you guys. So if you're like,
this is for you.
If you're like, I don't even know what Call of Duty Zombies is about, this will help.
What's your Call of Duty?
So, Black Ops 3, before World at War. So this is not the newest Call of Duty, but not the oldest zombies.
To be fair, at the time that this was wrote, it was the newest Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly. There's no BO4 here. There's no Black Ops 4. This is all pre that.
Yes.
But this is kind of how it goes. Okay, so there were these godly things called keepers in the beginning of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They were all chill, creating cool stuff. This is his words, not mine. All of a sudden, they create this cool little artifact that allows them to create dimensions and travel between them.
Fools.
That's also known as the summoning key, in case you ever hear that. They create the perfect dimension. Utopia, paradise.
Yada, yada, you name it.
Fill in the blank. Also known as
Agartha.
Agartha.
Do.
Yeah. Anyways, they create this. They start exploring different dimensions because they created one perfect one. Let's go see the other ones.
The fools.
They find the exact opposite of the perfect dimension. It's all bad and ugly and yucky. Ew.
Yuck.
Some of them want to stay there. Some of them don't.
Why would you want to stay there?
The ugly things. You ever seen a person with a really ugly person married to him? You're like, what the heck happened there? Something bad is attracted to him.
I guess.
Everyone's got their own thing. Get your own niche. So half of the godly things called keepers turn evil, becoming apothecans, whatever. Trying to do it easy for them. So then half of them don't. A battle starts between the good guys and the bad guys. Yada yada. Bad guys create some pyramid thing that gives them total power. They fail to use it for some reason.
How do you fail with ultimate power?
Bad guys lose. Bad guys get banished forever to the opposite ugly dimension, but before they do that, they stick pyramid on moon. That's an important part to remember.
Keep that in mind. Pyramid on moon.
Well, oh crap, JPEG, if you want to look at that. The bad guys go Super Saiyan over time. They get powerful again. They really, really want to go back to the cool, chill dimension. Who wouldn't?
I mean, I would.
But apparently they wanted to stay in the ugly dimension at first, but then they didn't.
They want to have a vacation time share.
They were confused. Like at first they were like, this place is really cool, and then they figured out, well, this is kind of hell. So maybe we should go to the other cool place. And they're like, well, you can't do that.
Oh, you're evil. You can't. You're not perfect.
They realize, we can actually go back if we send like a portal to the Earth, and from there go to the chill place. So if instead of just going straight to the chill place, they start somewhere else, then they can go.
Make a super highway.
So they send the portal in form of some weird element, element 115.
Remember this.
It's an important element. Comes into play later.
Don't look at the periodic table. It wrong
It's not there.
115.
It's not there.
Wrong 115.
This is a 115 that doesn't exist in real world. Obvious.
Thank goodness.
They hide it somewhere for no one knows why. They just hide it. Whenever someone finds the crap and they activate the portal and jump in.
That's what I do.
Yeah, so someone found it. Surprise. They jump in planet Earth. Wow, bet you weren't expecting that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened. War between the bad, ugly guys and humans start because...
Why not?
Reasons.
I mean, us humans do like war.
However, humans are good at war. Humans win.
Yes, of course.
But this says humans.
Humans win.
They hide the element portal thing. Hooray.mp3.
Hooray.
How great would it be if you said that kind of stuff and something would happen on computers?
Oh, that'd be so good. Computer, play hooray.mp3.
Cortana? Bet you thought we were done, right? Apparently not. Apparently every time someone doesn't do something they were supposed to do, the dimensions split. Make an alternate dimension.
Oh, boy.
So there was this guy in one dimension. He documents the human war. In another dimension, he didn't. He wasn't supposed to. Blah, blah, blah. Let's call the next dimension where he didn't Dimension 63. Crap show happens in Dimension 63 from the medieval era to the postmodern era. Just horrible, horrible problems.
Not safe to be people time.
You don't need to know about it. It was just really horrible. Now we're at World at War, which is the first zombie game. Staying on timeline for you guys in real life. This is the 2009 game.
Oh, 10 years ago, gosh.
So all that backstory is already is happening later. It hasn't happened in real world, our world yet.
Yeah, no. Don't you love retcons? Because it's only going to get worse from here.
Anyways, in the studied dimension, there are these two Nazi dudes called Richthofen and Maxis, and they discover the elemental portal thing.
Oh boy, here we go again.
They start doing all sorts of crazy crap with it. Of course, you know, Nazis, they're going to try and figure out the world, right? That's what happened in real life. They tried to make things.
That's what Nazis do.
So now they can teleport and do cool weapons and stuff, and they can resurrect people. Cool.wave.
This thing right here? These things right there? Yeah, they do that.
Yeah. Well, the problem with the... We'll get into it. Cool.wave, okay. The two dudes have an argument and no longer want to work together because they have different goals, of course. Dude number one, let's call him Rick, keeps working on all the gadgets. Dude number two, Maxis, disappears. We don't need him right now. Just going to set him to the side. He'll be back later. Remember that.
He's point later. Later.
Rick starts doing the experiments on himself and teleports to the moon for some reason.
Ruh-roh.
Probably an accidental teleportation, but cool. You're at the moon, except for the fact that you can't breathe.
But yet he can't. Just wait.
Finds the pyramid thingy.
You remember
that
the
what we
thingy?
talking about earlier? The ultimate power thingy?
Yeah, he found it.
Yeah, he found that, and then he starts hearing things.
That's why he can breathe in space.
Yeah, so he starts being able to hear things. But because of that, he starts going crazy and wants to destroy the world because apparently ugly things are talking to him now. Yeah, they were talking through the pyramid to Rick. Okay.
To Rick.
He goes back to Earth, recruits more people, then back to the moon to kill them because killing things around the pyramid gives the pyramid power.
So power.
Fully charged APK.
Ooh.
Rick goes to Maxis to get him. He wants to throw him in the pyramid just to see what happens.
It'd be like that.
Experiments. All right.
Yeah,
For reasons.
Yeah, science.
Turns out Maxis has a daughter we didn't know about. Now he does. Cool for him.
Molotov.
Her name's Samantha. Kind
Remember
of
this
important to remember that name.
Yeah.
Turns out Samantha has a dog. Well, Richthofen does experiments on him. He becomes Hellhound and runs into a teleporter.
Her
Sorry.
dog.
The dog is a her.
Yes. I'll go into the story a little bit
Probably
later.
didn't matter.
Oh, no, it does.
No. For these people, probably doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, for them they don't matter.
Dog runs into teleporter. Girl chases dog. Father chases daughter.
Basically, you got
Rick
yourself
traps him in teleporter.
you got a Tom and Jerry situation here.
And then one random person that makes it a trap. He then teleports them. Forget about them for now. They come back later.
Don't worry about it.
Super crap show happens in the normal dimension. outside of the one we're talking about. While that's going on, Dimension 63, the one we talked about earlier, that's still going horrible.
I think always.
Now we're in Black Ops 1 and 2. Lots of zombie outbreaks and battles.
That's it.
For this purpose, that's all you need to know. Black Ops 3, we're back in where we started.
Here we go again.
At one point, the dimension does that thing where it splits again. Makes a whole nother dimension. Now there's a good Richtofen and a bad Richtofen.
Bad Rick.
We're going to call him Good Rick and Bad Rick. More crap happens. For right now, you don't need to know about. Doesn't really matter for real, for you. Turns out the good thing, the Keepers, have a leader. His name is Monty or something like that. It's Dr. Monty. You probably really don't need to know, but Dr. Monty's his name. Monty hires Good Rick and these 3 other nationally stereotypical dudes out of nowhere to fix everything. And if you really want to know, just stick around. We'll be talking about them shortly.
Yes.
Just know it's kind of representative of each nation that were superpowers at the time. After all this crap is done, he wants to restore the perfect dimension. That's Monty's goal.
I'll vote.
Yeah, okay. More crap. Good Rick and his 3 buddies go back in time to kill Bad Rick.
Yay, time travel.
Mission success, though. MP3. MP4, actually. Like, for real right now, though, there's too much crap going on in both dimensions.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Bad Ugly Things have a leader, too, now. His name is the Shadow Man. Probably not important that you guys remember that, but sure, why not? The ultimate Infinity War breaks out between the Bad Ugly Things and the Good Ugly Things. And, oh surprise, the Good Things win.
What?
Who'd have known? Turns out our buddy Monty and Good Rick royally screwed up, and now we can't do the perfect dimension thing. That's off the table. Something about the dimensions were wiped out, and so on and so forth. All of this was useless, all the crap going on. Monty sends Good Rick and the 3 buddies way back to fix his recent screw-up. Turns out he sends them to the medieval times when the element thing was first found.
Oh, boy.
Which, when the bad guys sent the element to Earth, that's what they sent it to.
You know, the very like second thing that happened.
Yeah, we were like, hey, they sent it to Earth, and they didn't found it later, but this is where they originally sent it, was the medieval times. Turns out they were the humans that won the war between the ugly bad things and these 3-4 guys. They were the actual humans that won the war for them. Everything I just said happens over and over and over again, infinitely.
The cycle continues.
In every new dimension every time. And then the cycle keeps repeating. Infinitely. Until Black Ops 4, where we were supposed to get the ending. And we did get an ending.
But we also got an ending on Black Ops 3.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
One thing we figured out, they don't know how to end things.
They're women.
Yeah.
They just can't let it die.
Which I don't blame them.
Gotta bring it up for the rest of their lives. Hey, remember that one time you were staring at that girl's butt in 1905?
No, time travel.
What? That was like yesterday. How are you gonna bring that up again? We all know time is just
a number.
Made up human construct.
It's true.
So anyways, that all goes down. And then in Black Ops 4, briefly. As best as briefly, kind of like that.
Okay.
If you can, just follow along the same storyline.
Splitting?
Lots of splits.
Split happen again. One map, they split, go to different map. Another split happens here.
So this is the third split.
Third split. They get stuck in this new map. Past Richtofen, or past Good Rick, from the last story,
this is
freezes
Good Rick, not
himself.
Bad Rick.
This is Good Rick. Freezes himself and meets them there.
That would be medieval Good Rick.
Medieval Good Rick.
Now froze himself cryogenically, so that later in life, because cryogenics work, he can be useful again.
Yes.
And the splitting thing now, another Richtofen and 3 guys show up and open up cryogenics.
Yes.
And there's Good Rick.
There's good old
from
Rick.
Medieval times. But there's a little something there. Go on.
Original Good Rick has to sacrifice himself.
Not medieval.
Not medieval Rick. Just Good Rick.
Rick.
Just Good Rick.
Yeah.
Then,
He puts himself in a big machine that sucks his blood.
yes, to break the cycle.
The infinite splits to end it all.
Yes. He breaks cycle. Medieval Goodrick tells one of the characters, hey, none of us have souls. Monty uses that to look at it, to peek at what we do.
That doctor guy that was supposed to be leader of the good things.
Yes. So he can try to make sure we do what he wants us to do. You still have your soul. You lead now.
The one guy.
The one guy.
Yeah.
So he says, okay, .jpg. And he continues on.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Good Rick from that time is on a machine getting killed.
He's dead.
He's dying.
He was the nicest of them all.
Yeah, he didn't do anything wrong.
No. He just wanted to hang out and fight more.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
He was a good, selfish guy.
Infinite, selfish, good guy.
Yes. So now, other guy is now leading, and Goodrick is kind of just standing there, doing what he says.
Medieval Good Rick.
Medieval Goodrick, exactly. And he follows through what they normally would do. So now, other guy leads to find another elemental shard, and from there, they say, I'm just calling him by his name, Nikolai.
Yeah.
He says, okay, we got all we need to defeat him. Now...
Bad Rick.
No.
No, who's he defeating?
Monty. So from there, he's like, all right, we're good. So they hire a crew that we didn't talk about in this short thing.
Because
they're side characters, but they're not side characters.
They're not in the same dimension. It's not the main storyline,
It's,
but it is the main storyline.
It's once again, it's confusing. So
side character, let's just call them Victus.
So this is the fun part. Good Medieval Rick also has a different form.
Just assume Medieval Rick is good, okay?
Yeah. So Medieval Rick has a different form called Zombie Rick. And
it's like Bad Rick, but medieval bad.
So this is where I want to explain really hard, but I can't.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
So he turns
into
for
you guys that don't need.
He turns into Zombie Rick somehow. Just don't worry about it. And he talks to Victus from across dimensions, telling them you need to pick up this device called the Golden Rod. I don't know the exact name of it, but we always called it the Golden Rod because it's a golden rod.
Go on.
So they do the whole process. They get the Golden Rod and they send it over to them. From there, Nikolai makes the hard choice to basically, start everything, take all this evil away. He has to take everything related to the good boys.
Anything that went through the splits and dimensions.
He has to take them go away. So he takes out the good boys. He takes out the bad boys. He takes out themselves. And now, the confusing part, there's 4 more of them. There's the older versions of all the other guys, which that's even funner.
World at War versions.
Yes. World at War versions. And he has to kill them all. So he poisons them. Mm-hmm. Then he gets someone to shoot him, and then all the universes fall back.
Which was that Samantha girl?
That Samantha girl.
Yeah.
That goes back into place.
That's why she was important.
And the universe is fixed.
Well, all the while, this Samantha girl's trying to help her father, Maxis.
Yes.
It's just...
And at this point, Samantha and yet another version of Rick gets to go into a new universe. The perfect universe.
The Rick that was trapped in the pyramid?
Nope. This is a Rick that's young, like a 12-year-old Rick.
Oh no, he was sacrificed. That's why.
Yeah, this is young Rick. This is a 12-year-old Rick.
Yeah, he was sacrificed. He needed an innocent Rick. That's
pure
what his
soul.
name was. Yeah, he was pure innocent Rick.
Yes.
He was killed off earlier in the story that we didn't talk about because it's really intricate.
As I said, this story gets really confusing really quick, and if you don't have just the slightest little detail.
So the ending is Nikolai gets himself killed. It kills all this problem. Anything that experienced it, they all had to die. Everything had to die.
Yes.
And then paradise was fine.
Yes.
That's the whole sum up of it for the tippest of like the single snowflake on top of the mountain of the story.
And as you could hear, we were missing out so much because I could not explain. Literally, I tried. I'm like, no, you need to know that. No, you need to know that. Everything in the story that seems like it doesn't matter, matters.
Yeah. When we kept on saying it doesn't matter for you, it did matter, but it just doesn't matter for you because this is for you to understand why your child liked playing zombies.
Black Ops 4 really made it matter. At the end of the day, it made it matter.
So, now we're going to go in depth. If you leave now, no one blames you.
No one blames because it's about to get real.
I can understand it because even me at this point's like, I got to almost check out. I do have more in-depth stuff for myself, but I am at the baseline. It's rough, dude. It's rough. So if you want to go, thanks. Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe, whatever. But if you're staying, it's because you want to get some deep lore.
Deep as well, I'm going.
As deep as we can get here.
Yes. Well, as I said, I'm not doing dates. I don't know dates.
So, everyone that doesn't want to be a part of this is now gone.
Yes.
If you stayed, strap in.
All right.
Basically, we need to start with kind of how it started, which was the Shadow Man and Dr. Monty. Dr. Monty kind of is like, if you saw the movie The Matrix, he's the architect. He designed and built everything.
Yes.
Shadow Man is more like Agent Smith. He's on the opposite side.
Yeah.
That's a basic thought. And then there was the Keepers, and of course the Keepers were split in two, Keepers and the Apotheca, or Corrupted and Uncorrupted, depending on your...
Corrupted Keepers and Keepers.
Yeah, depending on how you wanted it. And what made the difference was the Dark Ether.
Yes.
Which was found once they found the Summoning Key, which had ether abilities. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah.
It controlled how to build
you
it.
could change your place in dimensions.
Yeah.
And
to manipulate the ether is what they
You
would
could
say.
also trap souls in there.
Yeah. The ether was everything. Ether is everything. Atoms and stuff. Matter.
And then the dark ether is all the antimatter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When we're going into physics and quantum mechanics, you know it's going to be a good story.
So this is kind of like the ether timeline basics. That's how you would manipulate the ether timeline.
Yes.
And the whole main thing was the first thing that they built was the Agartha, which is paradise,
whatever you
utopia, fill in blank here.
There's so many different names for it. I think if you launch Revelations, they make jokes about it. Whatever you want to call it, it's paradise.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what it's called. They call it the house.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And so they make this, and curiosity kills the cat. They make more. They go and visit more dimensions, because this in itself is just one single dimension. One facet of an infinite amount of dimensions at this point.
Yeah.
So, because they went into the other ones, then they find the exact opposite of paradise, which would be, in retrospect, hell.
Yeah. May I add, what are the odds they find from going, like, oh man, it's so good, oh my god, this is horrible.
Like, maybe we should stop looking.
Yeah. You would think if that was the first one you walk into, you'd be like, you think you open a door and you see something really bad, you just shut the door.
Yeah, it's like, imagine a hallway full of doors. And you open up one door and you open up the next door, it's everything you could ever want in life handed to you. You don't have to
silver platter.
It's perfect. And you don't stay there. Why?
And you walk back and go into the other one.
You start going to other doors to try and find something better? I don't know.
That's just selfish.
It's just, it's that situation. Okay. So then they find the bad place, which now has dark ether, and that's where corrupted and uncorrupted keepers become a thing.
Yes.
And then there is a war between the two. It's so crazy how this is so much similar to the Bible.
Yeah.
But we're not going to go religious.
Jason Swindell, do you have anything to say?
So then there's the baddies defeating.
The Apothecons, the corrupted keepers.
Yeah.
What do you want to call them?
They were defeated. And before they got defeated, though, they had this pyramid of ultimate power.
Named the MPD.
MPD. And so with this item, they literally could have...
pretty much anything.
Yeah. But again, they didn't use it. Maybe they weren't understanding it yet.
It could be possible. Maybe it wasn't fully powered yet.
You did have to have souls killed for it to work.
So, I don't really know.
And the only reason they found that out in the game is because a rat was killed next to it.
Yep, that's how Rick Donovan was like, oh, hey, a rat died. Oh, hey, this has got Chloe.
Yeah. So, and then, of course, if you're actually playing the game, that's how you know it's a soul chest. You kill something next to it, soul pops up and goes into it.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
We all know that. Anybody sitting here knows that.
Okay.
So, they hide this ultimate power weapon, but they need to hide it somewhere that...
no one would find it.
Except for their idea, was no one would find it. And so they put it on a small revolving rock around a big revolving rock.
Which in general is technically a small revolving rock.
Around an even bigger revolving rock. it was a pretty good hiding spot, honestly.
You know what?
I mean, with multiple dimensions in the world, that is where you hide it. Not a
Probably
bad
the
choice.
hardest game of Where's Waldo you'll ever find.
Yeah, not a bad choice. So I mean, so they put it on the moon, and no one probably would have found it had they not dropped the element 115 onto the Earth as well. But that happened later.
Yeah.
So the war goes down. They hide the pyramid. Some time goes by. They start getting more power again.
And they go Super Saiyan.
And they send element 115 to Earth. Now, the idea behind it is that in hopes that humans on Earth would find it and create a war. Surprise, surprise, we did.
What a surprise!
And that was on September 3rd, 5 AD was when they sent element 115. So, medieval times.
Before
Medieval times, honestly.
I don't know what you call those times.
That was AD would be after death.
Yeah.
So it's hard not to say Jesus, but that was what after death meant, was after Jesus died. That was when they started keeping track of everything. So doesn't matter. We'll say Roman times.
Yeah.
That's probably the best.
Yeah, Roman times.
That's probably the best thing we could say. So that's September 3rd, 5 AD. Roll forward to the Great War, January 15th, 1292.
Mind you, it took them about 1,200 years, almost 1,300 years to find this.
Find and realize, and for the whole world to realize that that's where it's at.
Yeah.
And in that Great War was the humans versus the Apothicon. And these humans were also known as the Primus.
Yes.
We find that out later, but for right now, since we're here, this is the timeline. Primus is fighting. They're the four guys with... Actually, I think we have a picture of them.
We do. Let me just get it up for you.
We'll just bring it forward real quick.
Oh, yeah. Gotta do this. 1 second, boys.
There you go. Okay, so this is what
what
they look like.
This is our 4 main characters, which also become...
We got Takiao, we've got
Nikolai,
and we've got
Dempsey,
and
we got Goodrick.
Also known as Tank. Sorry about your fingers.
Sorry.
And then Rick Topham way over here.
Goodrick.
So blue, red, pink, and gold, or purple and gold.
These are the staffs,
which we'll get there.
Wind, lightning, fire, ice.
Yeah. So that's the Great War picture. We can go back if we want, or we can stay here. It doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
Basically, what we're gonna do is just use these pictures as we go through. Okay, they win. Banish the Apothicon again.
Ooh.
Except for this time, they don't go to the dark or evil place. They just lose the fight, and they have to go back. No one knows where they went.
They just do places.
Now let's flash forward. So 1292, that'd be England. That's the Castle Times.
Yeah. And at this point in the story, Richtofen...
Medieval times.
Good Richtofen goes to sleep.
Yeah, this would be when he is cryogenically frozen.
Yeah, he goes to sleep.
Again, these things interweave so hard.
But this is a different dimension split, so I just thought I'd mention it up real quick.
Let's go ahead and split forward again, 1931. Now, we're kind of moving through the time of life pretty quickly.
Don't worry. We'll stay here for a while.
We're going to come back again to do this all again.
It's a cycle. Who would have guessed?
So, after this Great War, Element 115 was hidden again. But in 1931, Element 115 was rediscovered by, you guessed it, the Nazis.
Of course they would.
Also known as Maxis and Richtofen. That's when he officially enters the storyline. Now, this is Black Ops.
This is more World at War.
Yeah, World at War.
Or Black Ops 2 to be exact.
Yeah, so we're in that era. This is also the same time when Japan makes Division 9, which is to study Element 115.
Which is basically, it's the same exact thing, but not as much funding or actual materials as Group 935 with Maxis and Richtofen.
Which some people say is where Takiao came from. No actual evidence.
Some people say he overran he ran the business, basically, and then the Emperor's like, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, so that's just...
We'll skip.
Yeah, during this is about a 12 to 15 year period in this moment. Basically, just assume World War II lead up. Richtofen and Maxis with the Nazis start to try and work with Element 115, creating super weapons,
Superhumans.
Teleportation devices, which is how they got to the moon.
Super everything.
Yeah. Basically, Element 115 is
It's a scientific steroid.
Yeah, it's a powered material that helps you to gain clarification on how to make things.
Now, there's also one thing about Element 115 that's bad.
Yes.
There was a lot of memory loss for being exposed to it.
Yeah, when you're exposed to it, you would be able to use all this, but 9 times out of 10, you'd go into a catatonic state.
Yes.
Because of it. That's what they would use.
Certain people can kind of fight over it, basically, which is someone like a Richthofen, he can kind of fight it.
Something special about his blood.
These guys, they can fight it because, well, eventually we find out why.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Further on. So trying the teleportation devices that they were building left people catatonic. So the Nazis try and bring them back, and they reanimate these corpses, essentially, because they were basically dead.
Yep.
And they create zombies.
The first ever zombie.
Now, at first, they actually were able to control these things. They could teach them how to do everything, but it eventually fought back, and then we had the outbreak of zombies.
It happens. I mean, there's
That's the reason we get the game. If you ever watch Nocturne Toten, the first thing you see is zombies running at you, and they're in Nazi uniforms. This is after that fall. This is right before that.
What exactly happened was an American raid was happening over it. Mm-hmm. I think they were doing surveillance, actually. I don't remember exactly which one it is. And something happened, and they crash. And the plane hits a packaging shipment of zombies. Mm-hmm. And they survive, obviously. And basically, anyone that died there kind of also just turned into a zombie. Because at that point now, all the zombies are enriched with 115. Right. So now it resurrects everyone else. And for some reason, they're really hostile.
That's the reason the eyes glow.
Yeah, it's the reason why the eyes glow. They're really hostile, and they'll basically kill everything on sight.
Also known as a zombie accident.
Yes. So the first zombie accident happens, and that's why those 4 Marines die there that night.
And where we get the whole zombie craze in real life.
Yes.
After that mistake, Maxis decides that this maybe is going too far. Probably need to switch our focus. Richthofen, this is the argument they had, disagrees, wants to continue on with the teleportation experiments, making different things.
Yep.
Maxis was more focused on other things.
At this time, he was also showing his studies and finishing off the... Let me do that real quick. Whoops, wrong one, my guys. My bad. He was showing off this weapon right here. Right there, the Wunderwaffe DG2. It was completely finished at the time. It was considered the first ever, as they called it, wonder weapon. That's why it's called the Wunderwaffe.
There you go.
It's where we got the wonder from.
So, that happens, and then Maxis and Richthofen split. This is not good, Richthofen.
This is bad, Rick.
And so Maxis then leaves, creates his own group called Group 935. Get into them in a bit.
Here we go again.
Richthofen figures out the teleportation thing, teleports to the moon. This is where he finds the pyramid.
The APD.
And he starts to hear the apothecant speaking to him, which makes him go a little crazy.
Kooky.
Fueled with rage to kill the humans.
They're telling him, hey, do this.
Yeah.
Do that.
Also the same timing frame that he sees the rat die. And power the pyramid. Then he realizes the pyramid can be powered.
And then...
by death.
dot wave.
Now, we all want to know that he can teleport. So then he goes back to Earth and starts getting human volunteers.
At first, they build the whole base.
Yeah.
They build the whole base within basically... I want to say it was within 3 months.
Yeah, it was super fast.
Super fast. Yeah, I don't know how he got that many materials to the moon, besides teleportation, obviously. But still, how do you get the materials?
Exactly.
But, he makes an airtight seal, somehow, in space, and perfectly makes it fine where you could actually work there, and it's now eventually called Griffin Station.
We have to assume that the apothecant helped him with this.
I would assume.
That's the only logical explanation.
Also, how he hit all this funding from Maxis, I'll never know.
Again, this is right after him and...
They're still together at this point.
When he started building it.
Yeah.
When he started to build it. When Maxis bails, he finished it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there was... Oh, again, I didn't say it, but they are funded by the Nazis. That's where the money comes from.
At first, Group 935 was supposed to be a independent group, not focused on any state or capital.
Yeah.
But eventually, they needed funding so bad that Max said, "I need money."
Thank you, Nazis.
Thank you, Nazis.
1942. This is after he's been sending humans to the moon to be powering the pyramid. This is when we first get to see Tank Dempsey, the American. He was sent in on wasn't really undercover mission, but basically a reconnaissance mission to figure out what's going on. And he gets basically stuck.
It happens.
He got roped in on accident. And this is also when we hear about the Ultimus, which is our
Old guys. This is the old group of this.
Yeah, not the this is Premise. This is Ultimus. This is the World at War group.
This is the
same people,
different timeline,
different dimension, essentially. That includes Tank Dempsey, Takeo Misaki, Nikolai Belinsky, and Richtofen.
Edward Richtofen.
We just call him Richtofen.
It's easier.
And during this whole time that he was doing the moon and they were getting ready, Maxis's group is building bases on Earth.
Yes.
With Nazis. World War II.
just World War II things.
Rick then experiments at this point in time on Samantha's dog, ending up trapping her, Maxis, and the dog and the teleporter. Teleports them to a...
So, from what I understand...
It's hard.
Okay. So, from what I've heard from the radios on Derice, what happens is he does experiments on the dog. At this point, this dog's name is Fluffy. It is a female German Shepherd that is pregnant. And what happens is he decides, you know what I want to do? I want to test the teleporter again. He goes through his studies, tries to reanimate the dog with the teleporter. And what comes out is a flaming abomination. Hellhounds. Now, the funny thing is here, that's not Fluffy. That is her spawn, because she was pregnant. Now, there's an unlimited amount of hellhounds, and she just kind of... She's in, I would say, the aether, making puppies. And the hellhounds come in and do her bidding.
Right.
And at that point, when the dog comes down, Maxis and Samantha are in the same room. And Samantha, as like a 7-year-old girl, is like, Fluffy?
Small young girl.
It's her dog, you know? And she don't care if it's flaming, it's her dog.
Doggy's doggy.
Doggy's a doggy.
You got a new hairstyle. Dog takes off, heading for the teleporter. Naturally, Samantha follows.
Naturally, Maxis follows.
Gotta save daughter.
Naturally, Richtofen shuts all of them into the teleporter.
And then that's when the experiment happens.
So goodbye, Dr. Maxis.
And we don't...
Teleport.
Yeah, we really don't know what happened at that point.
So, I do. At this point, they all teleport. And they all teleport in different locations because this teleporter is not 100% accurate.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
This teleporter is not 100% accurate here. Samantha...
Even though they're in the same teleportation at the same time.
Yep.
One goes the other.
She goes to the moon.
I forgot.
APD is open, ready for the person to go in there.
I.e. pyramid.
She walks in there, and now it shuts, and she is in there. Basically, she can control the zombies as how she sees fit.
7-year-old girl.
7-year-old girl. She can control these zombies. Fluffy goes up to the aether. Maxis
goes to what's called the crazy place.
Nazis eventually find him.
Yeah.
Tell him, hey, do you know how to open the thing? He's like, yeah, I know how to open the thing. What? Sorry, I was reading chat. Yeah, I know how to open the thing. No problem. I'll get her out. No worries. Okay, cool. Okay, so we go in there and he opens the thing. Tells her, kill them all.
Yeah, it's not showing it. It's
yeah, you know, but I don't appreciate this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
sorry. We had a rogue show up in the.
I don't understand Spanish. I can't read Spanish.
I knew what he was saying.
I could guess what he was saying.
No, yeah,
I don't want
right.
to see it. I don't want to care.
Yeah.
If you're gonna come in there and do something, you're not gonna be a good viewer. You're not gonna be, you're not wanting to be here.
Yeah.
You're being an online troll.
Anyways, Max is sent to the crazy place. The Nazis eventually find him in the crazy place.
And he gets the APD open again.
Right.
Well, actually, no, it's the MPD. APD is the American version. Sorry.
And then also he starts to work with electronics.
Basically,
he learns how to, and why he's in the crazy place.
He learns electronics real good.
How to control them. Electricity.
And put himself inside of them.
Yeah, before he would die.
Yeah. So he goes.
Impressive.
It's impressive. So he goes. He opens the device, tells her, it's like, hey, she's like, Daddy. And he's like, kill them all. And then she shuts it, basically again. And then the Germans kill him. Before he gets killed,
he's in the system.
He's in the system in Griffin Station where they're at. So he's in control of the station.
He's around his daughter.
Yes.
In control of the station in the movie Transcendence, essentially.
Yes.
And so right before he gets, boom, he tells daughter, kill everyone.
Yep. Yep.
Which, coming to fruition, is what happened.
Pretty much does.
So good call, Maxis. You were on the right track there, dude.
So at this point now, Bad Rick's like, oh crap, .mp4.
This is 1963.
This is not a good time for him now.
Yeah.
His entire plan is ruined. But don't worry, those things.
Teleportation. Now remember, he has Ultimus on his side. He's what they would say is brainwashed, but
at this point, they're exposed to Element 115.
Yeah.
And they can handle it more because I think they're these guys at one time. They were these guys.
Yeah, essentially, again, dimensions, blah, blah, blah.
So they can handle it more to the point where the bad thing for them is memory loss. Like, they still remember things back in the day, but they don't remember anything really going. They have really bad
flashbacks.
Short-term memory.
Yeah.
There it is. Really bad short-term memory at that point. So they kind of just, hey, this guy, let's follow him, basically.
We know him.
We know him. We don't know why we know him, but we know him.
He's very familiar to us.
And I feel like we need to be... He tells us what to do. And that's basically what happens.
And so he kind of becomes the leader of the group. And they start following him. And that's when 1963 happens. Ultimus starts traveling through space and time. And they eventually hit Kino der Toten.
Basically, how they got there
theater.
Was they were in Doris trying to pick up Edward's diary.
Right.
Richtofen's diary.
Trying to figure out
the
past.
And then from there, his plan was, I'm just going to teleport back to the moon, and we'll get this all done with.
Yeah.
He shoots the Wunderwaffe in the teleporter, which overpowers the fuses, and then sends them to Kino der Toten.
Yeah. So now we're in 1963.
Yes.
And this is where my notes started getting really just kind of shoddy. Because this is when it's like, really gets weird.
See, this is where I know the best because I played the games at this time and I did all the Easter eggs.
Eventually, well, let's go from there. And then when we get to 2063, I'll pick up something.
All right. So from this point, they now know, okay, we need to get to the moon. Well, thankfully, for some reason, Richtofen's been in Kino before because, multiverse, time travel, Apothicon speaking to him in his head.
Helpful.
He's left lunar landers there. He left a lunar lander there, fueled up to go to a Russian cosmonaut station, known as Ascension. From this Ascension, they go... I don't know how they get to Call of the Dead. I never knew how they got to there. But eventually, they go to Call of the Dead from a teleporter.
Again, it's just teleporting.
Trying to teleporting.
Trying to find the right...
And then they get trapped in a room, and they need 4 people to basically give them the golden rod. And from this golden rod is powerful. It is one of the main artifacts of the universe. If they get it, and now he's almost done. He needs one more thing. He needs
summoning key, right?
No, this is before summoning key times. He needs one more thing so this ultimate device can work. The focusing stone.
From Shangri-La. This is like a big meteorite
of 115. It's a huge glob of 115. And from there, they do the Easter egg. They do all the steps. Bam.
To get it.
And from there, they can time travel or teleport to the moon in 2025. Which, interesting enough, also is the starting date of Black Ops 2's campaign. The more you know.
The more you know.
And they get to the moon, and now they have to do more steps to get Samantha to open up, to force open the MPD.
Right.
And from
so
there,
that she can't stop them from opening it.
Yes.
Because they need to get to her.
And from there, he uses the focusing stone.
Again, she controls zombies.
She controls the zombie. The focusing stone, the golden rod, and whatever that ball item is in Moon. Forgive me, I don't know this. I don't know the name of it.
It looks like the summoning key, honestly.
It honestly does, but
It's not quite the summoning key, but that if you had to picture something, it's an
kinda,
orb that floats, okay?
It's an orb that floats, and you just hit it around until you get it into the MPD, and with the other two things, it can switch a soul, which kind of really...
Now, soul inside the MPD, the pyramid, is Samantha.
Soul that's supposed to be switched is Edward Richtofen.
Bad Richtofen.
Bad Rick now is in Samantha's body, being able to control the zombies, which changes their eye color, and Samantha is stuck outside in Edward's body.
Yep.
And from there, they know... Max just finally says, okay, guys, you messed up.
Yeah.
Now you gotta fix this.
You followed the wrong situation here.
You gotta fix this now. And they're like, okay, we'll fix this. So they follow Maxis at this point. And Max is like, I'm gonna stop Richtofen from doing as much damage as possible by doing even more damage.
Right.
So he blows up the Earth.
Whoa, hold on. In 2063, now, is where it actually is saying in the timeline, is when they blow up the Earth. And what it is it's Victus is taken by Maxis and chartered by Maxis to help pull Richtofen out.
And see, this is where the issue comes back. There's some splits coming on here.
Right.
Because Victus is one of the only crew that has two different Easter eggs in every map.
Right.
One that can follow Richtofen, and one that can follow Maxis.
Now, this isn't the original guys, okay? This is Victus. This is a brand new set of characters.
This is Victus with 4 unique characters, Stuhlinger.
Basically, a whole new line.
It's a whole new
storyline.
But not. It's a next chapter.
They have their own story. Okay.
What Victus really is, they follow Richtofen. At the end of the day, that's what they were made to do, story-wise line.
Right.
But they have the multiple options.
So, Victus works with Ultimus, to basically pull Richtofen out of the
MPD.
ultimate power machine.
And at that point now, when that happens, which is the end of Black Ops 2's Ultimus storyline,
right.
Richtofen either gets pulled out or he locks himself in and then basically he rules the world.
Obviously, you can't do that.
So, either or, the storyline goes with Maxis.
Yeah, the problem is that because of the way they have to do it, they blow up the Earth with missiles
and that's
to get Richtofen out. And
okay. Exactly. Okay.
It's a part of it.
It's so confusing. Back in Moon, they blow up the Earth. And at this point now, Richtofen still controls the zombies, and then
And on Earth, we're having
Victus.
basically having the apocalypse. And Victus is a survivor of the nukes, Nuketown. This is part of Nuketown.
Yep.
And we have one of the employees of the
Broken Arrow.
Russman. And then we have a rando.
Basically, 2 other randos.
That just are there.
One is just some chick.
Yeah.
Truly, that's what it is. And the other guy was a guy in a cult that ate zombies.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why only he can hear Richtofen in his head.
Because he ate the
zombies, and he's infected, basically.
It's
because he was hungry.
Yeah. So now we have that going on Earth, and we have Maxis going.
So from this point, they can follow 2 paths. Generally, the storyline follows Maxis to try to get Richtofen out of it, but there's 2 different endings if you want to do either or. But generally, it's followed by the Maxis ending where Richtofen gets ripped out of it. And at this point now, at the end of this section, Richtofen's pulled out, no one's left in the MPD, and the zombies are feral once again. They do their own thing.
They do their own bidding.
So at this point, now the world's screwed no matter what.
Yeah, it's messed up. It's been blown up.
It's
rampant with zombies, and you have no end in sight.
No end in sight. Richtofen is stuck in a zombie's body, and when that zombie dies, he switches to another zombie's body. And this is where, if you remember our short story, Zombie Rick.
Yeah, basically
this is where he comes into play here.
Also, if you're wondering which game we're talking about, this is Black Ops 2. This is part of Green Run. This is part of Town. This is part of
Die Rise, Buried.
Yeah,
it's those maps.
Yeah, Farm. That was the other one. And it's transit.
It's transit, but I rise.
That's
and
That's what's going on during this time. It's the explosion from the moon, missile firing.
And at this point, I'm gonna get a little real here. What happened was the guy that made zombies, he decided, I'm done. I quit. So the guy that made the story, he's like, I'm done.
The story can end there.
The story's done. But then the new guy stepped in, like,
there's more to
I
the
can
story.
fix this.
There's more to it.
Oh, he doesn't fix this. He makes it so much more complicated than it already was. This is why...
Yeah, to fix it, he said, let's go
reboot
back to the beginning.
And this is where these characters are introduced.
Yeah, this is where interdimensional stuff starts. And
Well,
different timelines really are being played.
Here's the map that basically messed up the entire existing storyline. Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead came into play here, and at first we thought it was just a map that really didn't have any purpose besides just being a really cool map.
It was a cool map.
It was a cool map.
Gotta give it
But there's a lot of things. Honestly, Mob of the Dead is a confusing piece. I don't know any of it because at that time, Black Ops 2 times until Origins and Buried, they were not safe to be zombie times. The maps were kind of they're pretty much
as a player of the game, not storyline, but just of the player of the game. It wasn't working.
It wasn't very good. So I didn't pay much attention to there.
So
I don't know much about Mob of the Dead. I'm gonna be honest with you. Did you get any notes on the Mob of the Dead?
Same thing is going on with everybody in that situation.
Mob of the Dead is a confusing thing.
They said the main thing to know is that it played a vital piece on getting the game, getting the storyline back in to a new story.
Yes.
That's basically all you need to know.
And basically, we skip to Origins, which introduces these characters. And
medieval times.
Well, it's 1912 when the map actually happens.
Yeah, the knights were reanimated.
Yes. From 115 that the Nazi party discovered. Here we go again, boys. Round 2.
Yeah, they found it again. So for this time, they found it earlier.
This is one of those other dimension splits.
Yeah, so supposedly at this point, now Prism has gone back in time. And... Not Prism. Gosh, I keep saying that.
At this point,
Ultimus
hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
This is Primus. This is the young version. And it's a dimension split that happened earlier that messed it all up.
So now they're going through this part of life.
They're a younger version that really, they're not corrupted. Richtofen is not evil.
This is good Richtofen.
This is good Rick.
Yeah, he wants to fix the world.
He's not... bad Rick, psychotic, maniac, yada yada. This Richtofen, he's getting close to there, but he's not.
Yeah, but he hasn't crossed that threshold yet.
He's not creepy. He's creepy, but not creepy.
And we know that Richtofen really went creepy because of hearing all the voices.
This is before he got corrupted. This is Rick.
Yeah.
And everyone else, Nikolai is no longer a suffering drunk. At this point now, he's pretty much against alcohol. Takio, he's Takio.
He didn't change much.
He didn't change.
Didn't have much to change.
He's more jokingly because he's younger.
Yeah.
But other than that, really, nothing has changed really much with him.
Tank.
And Tank, instead of being, I'm American.
The typical.
He's a responsible soldier that records everything to show to his military. He's a good soldier.
He's not stereotypical 1942 soldier.
This is 1912 soldier. He's a good soldier.
Yeah.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Let's see. One sec, guys. Sorry about this.
Hey, hit pause on the audio, too. Real quick.
Yeah. It's starting to drop a little bit. Internet, don't do this to me, please.
Yeah, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. I will not remember to fix this on audio. There we go.
I'm just going to do that as well.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit better, hopefully. Sometimes this happens. Someone might be downloading something. Yada, yada.
Yeah. I mean, it's 8:30 at night now, so
yeah,
who knows what's doing what?
We really don't know, but it looks like it's evening out. There could it could have been a cloud. Who knows? Okay,
back to it.
Back to life. So at this point, they're not corrupted, and at this point, we get to rediscover Maxis again, but he's in the crazy place.
Yeah.
It's before all this again, and he knows how to go through technology, and he has implanted his brain into a drone. And from this drone...
Well, he was rendered catatonic by the Knights.
Yeah.
Is what happened. So to preserve him, Richtofen cut his brain out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he became into a drone.
Yeah.
As helpful as we can be here. Go on.
So, basically, Samantha, somehow, I don't know how, she's already in.
Maxis doesn't have a daughter in this dimension.
But yet, she's there. And she's stuck in Agartha.
Yeah, she found a way through dimensions, if that makes sense.
From what I can understand and guess, this is 100% guess here,
They did say how that she found her way, but I can't remember now.
She's at the house of Max's.
Yeah.
Or Monty.
Monty.
At this point, she's at the house. I'm assuming he just grabbed her before the universe is reset again.
Oh no! It was Gersh. That's the reason she's able to find her way back to Maxis in this version. Gersh was at 5, is the map. Pentagon. He was working on with Ascension. He was working on with another scientist on a brand new device, the Gersh device, and at which point they had a split and they didn't want to go with it anymore. And Samantha told Gersh to keep working on the device so that it would, reasons.
See,
and then he activates it and it zaps him into a new world, which is 5, and she got to go into the world with the Maxis that doesn't have a daughter.
At this point, this is Black Ops 4 shenanigans.
Yeah, but that's the explanation.
So therefore, they help her get Maxis to the house. That's exactly what happens. Maxis goes to the house. He's missing his soul, but he has his brain, and Monty gives him a new body.
There it is.
And from there, they all separate for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Richtofen's going through universes, just jumping back and forth, learning stuff, yada yada. And the other guys, they separate for about 6 to 8 months, I think, or maybe 3 years. I can't remember.
There was some time.
There's a time gap. We don't feel it. Actually, we technically in real life we did. But we don't actually feel it.
Iron.
And then they reconvene together at the Giant, which is a Derice remaster.
Reboot. Also, New Dimension.
New Dimension again. Good Rick kills Bad Rick, takes Soul, goes away.
Yes.
With the summoning key in hand, which he got from Shadows of Evil.
That was another random storyline that the Shadow Man, he was trying to get the summoning key from a guy who was called the Reporter, and he was to bring it to him. Well, Richtofen finds out, as well as Monty. Monty tells, Richtofen and all that kind of fun stuff, that the Reporter is going to give the summoning key to the Shadow Man, and that can't happen kind of thing. So Richtofen goes to intercept it. The Reporter then freaks out, tries to kill Richtofen. Richtofen stabs him. And that's kind of where that ends right there. And then your 4 characters in the Shadows of Evil, which were played by actual actors and modeled after them. Really, really great, by the way.
So good. It's such a good of a map.
Amazing character development on that one. I mean, just beautiful.
I'm Jackie freaking Vincent.
They have names. I don't care about them.
Oh,
it will be Jeff Goldblum.
Jackie, Vincent, Nero. I don't know the other 2.
Jeff Goldblum.
Good map, man.
Anyways,
I hated it at first, but man, is it a good map.
Really cool, interesting, and wholly different from all the other maps in the Zombies. And then, of course, while you play the map, you become a situation where you can actually get the summoning key, and the Apotheca makes appearances in this map, Apothecans. At the end of the map, of the Easter egg, whatever you want to say, Good Richtofen shows up in a rift and takes it
at this
from
point,
them.
The Shadow Man from their Easter egg got trapped into the summoning key.
Right.
Rick does not know this.
The 4 who were made to give up personal people near them trapped him into the summoning key, and that's when he shows
Rick
up.
and Monty have no idea he's in there, by the way. This dimension's a dark dimension.
Yeah.
They don't know much of it.
So that's their whole storyline. That's where it ended.
That's where it ends. So
you can't pay actors for more than one map.
No, trust me, we learned this. So Shadows,
cool.
That's where it ends. I'm still waiting for my map that has Avenged Sevenfold in it. I'm still waiting for it.
That's a whole... Anyways.
So from that point, the entire mission is go get all of your past souls. So Blood vials. That's a separate thing. That's separate. Get all your past souls. They'll get those too. Get the past souls so that these pure souls can go into the house and they can experience paradise. And from there, basically, they shut down the dimensions. everyone that's not in paradise dies. Everyone that's not supposed to be there is supposed to die.
At one point in time, they blow up something, and all of the souls are released from this one area that were being trapped. I don't even remember exactly.
I think you're talking about blood, which we're not there yet.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
At this point, they just go to the souls. They go to...
Oh, yeah, you know what? I am talking about the dead.
They go to Horizon Direct, take Dempsey's soul. They go to Zetsubo Noshima to go take Takio's soul.
Now you understand the maps? Because that's where Tank Dempsey was... Tank Dempsey was sent to
Horizon Direct
as a test subject. That's how they got his soul. Zetsubo Noshima, that would be
Takio's soul. The Emperor said, hey, you're not running this right. You go into the basement and you suffer down there.
Yeah. The next one is a fully submerged snow map.
No, it's Nikolai's in Groovy.
Well, I was thinking of the snow map outside of Horizon Rock. There's another one. I can't remember what it is.
Snow map outside Horizon Rock. It's Horizon Rock, Zetsubo, Garad Krovi, which is in Russia. It's in Stalingrad.
There's something else. I can't remember what it is. It was probably further back. And
they take Nikolai's soul. Now, before that, though, in Zetsubo, they visit another place without Monty knowing, and then they grab the blood vials from Blood of the Dead. From another good Rick.
Who was given the blood vials to go back because you're going to need them eventually.
You're going to need them eventually. We're going to skip over this for now because that's Black Ops 4 territory. So from there, they go take Nikolai's soul, and then they go to the house, the good place, the paradise, yada yada, to give Monty the souls. And from there, they're supposed, Monty's like, for some reason, lets them rest, kind of celebrate, hey, they won, yeah.
Got everything finished.
Maxis,
but they didn't realize that
doesn't have a soul, so automatically the Shadow Man, which is was in the summoning cube summoning orb thing. I can't think of the name right now. This, he can just directly hey, come here, come on, I have a treat, I have a snack, and Maxis, he falls for it. He's like, ooh, got Pringles, and he grabs the orb.
It's probably due.
Probably do. I said Pringles because Pringles sound good. He grabs the orb.
I got the brand new Mountain Dew, dude. Really? That would get us.
Oh, it would. It would. So he grabs the orb and accidentally activates it, and the Shadow Man comes out, and he ruins paradise as the king of Apothicons, the big daddy of Apocalypse. The Shadow Man would. And Monty's like, oh crap.
Is this Revolutions?
Yeah, Revelations. Monty's like, I can't take this guy by myself.
Revelations.
He cannot. Shadow Man is a lot more powerful than he is.
He's had a little bit of time to wait.
He's had time to wait. He's more powerful, but Monty, he can hold his own.
Yeah.
He can hold his own enough to where the Ultimates crew can do what they need to do. I would say Premise group can do what they need to do.
Premise.
So, they do it, and they kill the Shadow Man. So all together with Monty's power and all that, they kill him, and boom, paradise is restored. And from there, Monty's like, everything's restored, everything's destroyed how it's supposed to be. So why are you guys still here? And then he notices the blood vials that are still on their chest. And he's like, wait a minute.
What did you guys do?
Where'd you guys grab those from? And he's like, oh no, you don't. So he's like, okay, you know what? This works perfectly. I'm going to send you back for my last mistake.
That one, screw up that we talked about way back when.
Yep. So they go back to the year, what is it,
1292, the original war.
The original war.
The Great War.
Which has, as fast as it went, we're back here.
Yep.
So at this point now, this is where Black Ops 4 comes into the picture. This is premise, once again. At this point now, they go through the cycle as much as they can. They defeat the war. They're done. Rick Toppin says, no, we're not. So,
good Rick Toppin.
Good Rick Toppin says, no, we're not.
This is medieval good.
This is medieval good Rick Toppin. He cryogenically freezes himself to awaken at Blood of the Dead.
Also, Victus had been cryogenically frozen for a later date so that we would need you.
Need them. Because they are pretty much, they are the deliverymen of Primus and Ultimates. Right. They're important, not as important, but they're important.
So, yeah, they didn't want to just kill him off at that point.
So, the cycle gets a little bit broken. whenever remember when we took Takiyo's soul and they went to go get the blood vials? Well, what happens is something messed up. You know, the old splitteroo? That happens again. And this is a new time. This is the first time it's ever happened. A split happens where it's not supposed to happen.
All right.
And from there, they get trapped in Blood of the Dead. And the only way to escape that dimension,
they figured it out,
is for someone to... There's either two ways you can get it. Either everyone dies and it resets the cycle again, or you break the cycle and you kill the leader.
And this is where this is important, because Richtofen becomes a main token. Because he had went through so many times, his blood carried so much ethereal energy
in 115
that he made the perfect sacrifice.
He did.
The blood, the unspotted lamb, if you will.
Yes. So
also, good Richtofen.
Good Richtofen.
I'm telling you, it follows a storyline that we all know.
I'm pointing it out.
So here we go.
So what happens is...
This is when all of the cryogenic chambers were released. And
Richtofen comes out...
Medieval
Richtofen comes out first. The other four, they're still frozen. They're staying there for a bit longer. Don't worry.
They didn't get...
They'll come back later. So he dethaws, and he has... What people speculate, we don't really know what it really was. He has that thing right there. But just the gem of it.
Yeah.
Just the jewel. And he comes out, and he's like, hey, all you zombies swarming everyone here, and you Warden, you. Ta-da! And basically, it kills all the zombies and frees their souls. And the Warden's like, yo, what are you doing? Because at this point, the Warden's invincible. You can't kill the Warden.
The Warden had killed himself to trap the souls of...
Yes.
Lore.
Lore.
Oh, Lore.
He's like, you can't do that, and made the Warden vulnerable, and to the point where you can kill him.
Right.
So when he dies, all the souls that have ever been trapped there forever get released.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the only Black Ops 4 Aether cutscene that was animated, not written. It was really pretty. It was really good. It was good.
Mm-hmm. And of course, at this point in time, Richtofen, good Richtofen, not medieval, good.
He's still the machine.
Yeah, he's on the machine.
He cannot be saved at this point. He thinks he can, but he's delirious. He's
losing blood.
Trust me, as a guy that loses a pint of blood about once every month or so, I know how bad it can affect a guy. At this point, he's lost like 7 of his 12.
Yeah,
he's not coming back, really.
He's done.
Unless he has medical treatment there on the spot.
So, medieval Richtofen is basically ending this whole situation and opens up rifts.
Exactly. He holds the Chronorium and he gives it to Nikolai. Because at this point...
This is a book, by the way.
This is the book. This is
Power
the
book.
This is the book.
The Bible.
And he gives it to Nikolai because at this point, he is the only one of that group to have their soul.
The disciples.
I know.
I'm sorry.
He's the only one that has his soul. Because all the other ones have given it up to Monty and is in the summoning key, which they also leave in that dimension. I'm pretty sure.
Medieval Richtofen takes the summoning key.
Something like that. I don't know. They don't...
He does in the video. He takes it.
It's so confusing.
Anyways,
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He opens up the rifts because he has a summoning key.
He has a summoning key. So
Manipulating the ether. Matrix. I
think he actually gives it to Nikolai because Nikolai.
I don't know if he gave it to him. I just know that at one point in time
he takes it from Goodrick,
which was hooked up to the machine.
I gotta give this credit here. This was really moving for the zombie storyline because Richtofen, he's in this machine just basically suffering, and he's dying. He knows he's dying, and he knows one thing: everyone will forget about him, because at this point, the moment they leave, all that Element 115, except for Nikolai, will not remember him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's getting really emotional, and he starts just shouting out random sayings that he's said for over all these years. You know, he says things from Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. One of these downing quotes from Revelations comes out, and is really sad because it's actually happening. The entire zombies community kind of stayed quiet for a couple of days after that one. It was really powerful for them.
So, Medieval Richtofen takes it. They go through the rifts,
and they drop all the blood vials. Blood vials
no longer
important.
Yeah. And because Richtofen died, to give Richtofen, I guess, a little peace, maybe Medieval Richtofen says it's finished.
But he wants to keep on going.
Yes. Well, of course.
He wants to keep on because, as I said, he's the selfish one. He's the selfish good guy.
Yeah, selfish good guy.
He wants to keep on. He wants to do it. He wants to be the one.
But to put good Richtofen at ease, basically just said, you've done what we needed done.
Yeah. which it's not good for him. He's like, no.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
And at this point, how this universe works, if there's not one person there, it basically doesn't exist. So it goes into what I would like to call a PC idle mode. It powers down. The entire world goes gray. Doesn't exist because at this point in time, there's technically nobody living there. Technically, we'll go along with that. And then now that Nikolai's in charge, he needs one item. He needs one thing. Technically two, but he needs one thing from this one place, which is the Nuketown remaster called Alpha Omega. He goes and tries to get, what is it called? Crap. It's called the Elemental Shard. He needs the Elemental Shard to be able to control the Golden Rod. Y'all remember the Golden Rod? I hope you did, because it's back.
I remembered it.
So,
It's
okay,
important.
cool. Golden Rod. All right. So but first we need the Elemental Shard. So they go through the story of Nuketown, and they find out the American Group 935 called the Broken Arrow Group. And they basically,
Which is one of the characters from Victus.
that got fired there. But long story short, they have to go through this whole storyline, and guess what? The American version of the MPD, the APD, is there. And there's a guy in there, which ironically is the Avogadro from Transit.
Right.
He got transformed into ethereal energy.
There's theories about that as well.
The fan theory around the whole storyline is crazy. But
zombies, guys. I mean, I'm trying to shorten and sweeten this
Yeah.
thing because we're already an hour and 20 minutes in.
we're trying to finish it right here because we're really close to the end.
The end. Because at this point,
It's just a bunch of
hoopla.
recycles trying to get all the pieces.
So they get the shard. They go through the story and all that stuff. He's like, all right, now we only need one more thing. And I'm just a little bit of break in the story here. Everyone was really disappointed because they were hyping up the big great war. You know, we think, oh yeah, we're gonna be fighting Monty. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing.
Because again, Monty was supposed to be good, but he
He's the better of the two evils.
yeah.
There's a quote that the Shadow Man's like, he hasn't told you everything he's done, right? There's multiple names he has. He's like Satan, Lucifer, the Devil. Which, you know, at first you're like, you're the Shadow Man. You're lying. You're the Shadow Man. This is what you do. He's pretty darn close.
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub. Yeah, he does that. He says that too. So it's really confusing. You don't know who exactly you should follow. At the end of the day, neither.
Yeah, they're both
They're both bad.
self-conscious on making the perfect utopia.
So, at the end of the day, they get the thing they needed, and Maxis, which is still in the house, transports Samantha and the young Richtofen.
Pure soul Richtofen.
Pure soul Richtofen.
This is before he'd been defiled.
Yeah, this is like a 12-year-old Richtofen, like a...
The uncle hasn't touched him yet.
Yeah. Actually, that's actually true.
I know. That's why I said it.
But that's actually true.
That's why I said it.
I want to say she's 15. She looks so much older. She's so much taller.
Yeah.
But Samantha and young Edward comes out, and they're like, okay, now what? So, this is where I think Treyarch kind of ran out of money because funding went down. And
well, when you mess up a couple of storyline maps,
and you're run by Activision that can take away your budget so fast, it happens.
Activision.
So, they don't fight the Great War. They do the exact opposite. They skip over the Great War. As the war is being fought, I should switch to this at this point now.
That's a good one.
It's Blood of the Dead, but we should have switched to this a long time ago.
Yeah, we should have.
It's okay.
It's whatever.
It's okay. But
We'll just go on. Keep going.
Ooh, Black Swan.
Yeah. Go ahead. Just keep talking.
I'm trying to think. At this point, they unfreeze the Victus group, and like, okay, cool. What are we supposed to do? And Richtofen's like, hey, guys, I need you to go get this one thing. I need you guys to get me the golden rod. So they're like, all right, no problem, boss.
Remember the Victus crew that we talked about earlier?
They're back.
This is when they get released.
Yes.
Do the job.
So they go do their job.
J.O.B..
They're now in the map Dr. Toten.
Dr. Toten.
Nocturne and Toten gets me every time when it happens like that. So, which is the Call of the Dead remaster. Which, I'm going to add this in real quick. I love the little reference they put to George Romero, since he was in the original Call of the Dead. Great
Correct.
reference.
Yeah.
But they get him the rod, and they send it on. And this is where the story gets to the point where, like, this feels rushed, but it's still sad.
They were making an ending for us.
Making an ending as fast as they could.
Without going through 5 more maps.
So, they found... what happened is I can't think of the name. Nikolai figured it out because he wants to end the cycle. Richtofen didn't. Nikolai does.
And he has the cool.
He has everything he needs to end the cycle now. He's got the elemental shard. He's got the golden rod. He's got the summoning. He's got everything he needs. He banishes the apothecons. He banishes the keepers. Dr. Monty, Shaman, doesn't matter. He banishes them all to the dark ether.
Mm-hmm.
They go back to where they began.
Hell.
Basically. They all go back to where they began. And
Where
then
the whole mistake happened.
The whole mistake happened, and they stay there. And what he thinks of, we're the last of the race. We're the only ones left out of our timeline. The moment we die, everything goes back to normal.
Basically, if the cycles that are open
break,
everything's fixed.
Everything's perfect.
Maybe you guys are catching on now what we're putting down.
Nikolai, without telling the group, without sending them a single message telling them, hey, this has to happen, he poisons them as they're partying. They're all drinking, having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Except for one, because he's technically already dead. Here comes Ultimus Richtofen. As zombie Richtofen, that's how he's communicating with Victus. And he's like, all right, the deed is done. And then he shoots zombie Richtofen. After everyone else has died from the poisoning, he shoots zombie Richtofen. And now he's the only one left before the timeline is going to get fixed. So he has to go over to Samantha. He tells her, the moment I die, everything goes back to normal, and you and him go to the perfect world. And at
Basically,
that point,
everything gets fixed when I die.
yes.
Neo.
So, I personally think he should have shot himself. It would have been easier on the kid. But I think they didn't want that to go out. I don't think they like suicide.
No, they don't.
So,
you don't want that.
I understand it.
It was easier. It was easier too, because there's a part of every human that says, I don't want to kill myself.
Yeah.
And even in this situation, Nikolai did not want to kill himself. So he tells Samantha to do it.
And at that point, she shoots him in the head. And we go through flashbacks of what they get to go through in their afterlife, and what they want, and what they get to experience for the rest of their life. Emotions kind of start coming out. Ultimus crew, this is the old people. For some reason, I'm not going to say why, Richtofen wants to start a funeral home. You can use your imagination on that one.
That's bad, Richtofen.
That's bad, Richtofen. Dempsey, in I think both versions, wants to be... Oh, no, I don't remember. What is Ultimus's Dempsey's? I don't remember. I don't remember that one. It's kind of sad.
If you guys want to, you can find it, I'm sure, on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, easily.
You can watch it.
I know one of them wants to be a drill sergeant for the rest of their life, because, I mean, it kind of fits them. Ultimus Nikolai wants to be at his favorite bar with basically an unlimited supply of vodka.
Vodka!
Primus Nikolai, this is where this one gets sweet. He wants to be in the loving arms of his wife that died in the bombing raids, no matter what price, so he could...
Non-drinking Nikolai.
The family man Nikolai. So he can experience his family and go through all the hardships they have to go through and be there for them. Takeo, Primus Takeo, the young Takeo, he wants to grow old and watch his kids playing under the cherry trees for eternity. That's what he wants. He wants to be a good grandpa. Mm-hmm. Then Primus Richtofen, good Richtofen.
What about Ultimus Nick?
I don't remember his.
Okay, Takeo.
I'm sorry, Ultimus Takeo.
It's okay.
Primus Richtofen.
Probably the same thing.
Probably the same thing. He wants to be a teacher. He wants to teach people the human body.
This is good Richtofen.
He wants to help people by teaching them. And that's what they do for all of eternity. And good Samantha, and for some strange reason, I don't know why, young little Eddie, now big Eddie. Like, he's like 18 Eddie now. I don't know how it happened.
It's that whole perfect body situation. That's when you stop,
I guess, maybe,
growing and you're not dying yet.
People ask that, like, why is he so much taller now? Like, literally, he was like a foot under. Now he's like 2 foot higher.
Yeah.
It was weird. They walk into the new universe, and that's where the zombie storyline ends. Black screen, Finn, the end, complete.
Finn.
100% completionist. We're done.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the whole storyline in the briefest,
could-
in-depth version.
We have the short ending. We have the Black Ops 3 ending. We have the Black Ops 4 ending.
That's an hour and 20 minutes of storyline.
Now,
And that's not even full.
not even full. People can do it a lot faster. They go into more dates. We're us. You know,
We got your snapshot for you, and I think we did a pretty decent job there.
pretty decent job.
I mean, doing the research, I learned more about the storyline than I ever did.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't do Easter eggs, so it kind of makes it hard.
I
to
didn't do
understand
Easter
storyline.
eggs after Black Ops 1.
Yeah.
Now, before we finish, though,
I'm gonna give you the
total map list of every zombie map ever created for Call of Duty Zombies. Starting with Call of Duty World at War. There was Noctur Untoten. That was the very first map.
Night of the Living Dead.
It's where everyone got their love. The next one was Zombie Varuk.
Zombie.
Shinonuma.
What's it? Zombie Asylum. That's what it's called.
Yeah, the Zombie Asylum is what they called it. Then there was Shinonuma and
The Rising Sun facility.
Yeah, Reese. I'm assuming it's not Die Rise.
It's the giant facility.
Yeah, this is where Victus kind of went back to at one point in time. Then there was Call of Duty Black Ops, which starts off with Kino der Toten.
Theater of the Dead.
Then there was 5, which is the Pentagon,
Yes.
which you got to play as the president. You got to play as
JFK,
Fidel
Rick
Castro,
Toffin, McNamara or something like that.
something like that. It's
Macklemore.
oh, very cool. Anyways, so 5, and then a very interesting map, the Dead Ops Arcade.
That one's out of
It's-
storyline, but it's so
Yeah, it's out of storyline, but part of the Zombie Chronicles. Yeah, it's really cool though. It is worth. It's your classic over
Arcade
the head
shooter.
arcade shooter. Yeah. And then Ascension was right after that, which was the very first DLC for Black Ops.
Yeah.
Then there was the Call.
It also had the first ever step-by-step Easter egg.
Yeah. Call of the Dead, then Shangri-La, then Moon.
Oh, best map.
Yeah. Then Black Ops 2 came out with Transit.
Worst
which
map.
Everyone was just very, very confused.
Okay.
Here's why everyone was confused. A lot of people didn't do the Easter egg on Moon.
Yeah.
So they didn't understand why all of a sudden. I didn't. I definitely didn't. I played Call of Duty Black Ops, and then Black Ops 2, everything's destroyed. I'm like, what?
What happened?
What's going on?
And I will always laugh because when me and Josh did the Easter egg for the first time on Black Ops 3, he's like, "That's why."
I was like, oh my goodness, of course.
It's like, wow.
It was eyes wide open.
Oh!
I can see now. I can fight. And it made all sense. Which included Bus Depot, Farm, Town, Diner, and Green Run.
Which is
Green
transit
Run-
in total.
Yeah, that's the whole transit.
I will say the reason why the map's bad was system limitations.
Yeah, but it was really cool at the same time. It's a whole different situation.
Most people hate it. Some people like it.
Explosion, fire, lava.
It's annoying.
Once you figure out why it's all like that, it all makes sense and it makes it okay.
No.
This okay.
Yeah. Okay.
When the whole rope is 20 feet and this much is okay, technically there's a part that's okay.
It has the worst wonder weapon in the game. It has the worst map layout in
It
the
did
game.
have the Galvan Knuckles though,
It did have the Goblin Knuckles.
which were cool. And then after that was Nuketown Zombies, which was
technically
very
the first DLC in Black Ops 2.
which was different. And then Die Rise, which
Is also bad.
Ugh.
It's confusing, but it's cool. It's
yeah.
all right.
And then Mob of the Dead hit, which was very cool.
Is it Mama Dead then Buried?
Yeah, it's Mob of the Dead, then Buried.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then Buried is one of my personal favorites. Western. I enjoy those kind of weaponry. And then Origins.
Which is considered to be one of the best maps in the game.
And I can understand that. There's...
A lot to do.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Intricate. Black Ops 3 released with Shadows of Evil.
Which is also considered one of the best maps of all time.
When it first came out, it was considered one of the
Worst.
weird and worst. There was a very, like, all of a sudden everything changed moment
There
with
was
that map.
there was a big curve for Black Ops 3. For one, gumballs first got introduced.
Yeah, it was
Weapon kits got introduced.
We
and-
discussed this once.
Yeah. It was a confusing time, but eventually the map flourished through patches and changes, made it less tedious, and it became one of the best.
So much better. And then Dead Ops Arcade 2 was released,
Oh my god!
which I did not play,
So good.
but I did play The Giant.
So good too.
Der Eisendrache, which I played as well.
Considered one of the best maps of all time again.
I can understand.
Which is
that one.
so was Mob of the Dead.
The bows were sick.
If it surprised you, Mob of the Dead was considered one of the best. The Origin was. Shadows of Evil is.
Eisendrache.
Der Eisendrache is.
Then there was another bad map, Zetsubo no Shima.
People cannot believe how bad this map was, considering after the last 5 to 6 zombie maps.
Der Eisendrache was so amazing.
Perfect.
And then they dropped that, and we're like, whoa, whoa.
It was okay. Some people like it now because it's fixed. It was just really, really tedious. It took about 17 to 18,000 points to turn on the power.
Yeah, and then I think another weird one that popped out.
Garad Krovi.
Yeah, no, it didn't make sense.
It was so cool though.
Yeah, it was very, very cool. It had a dragon even, which none of the other ones did.
You had a dragon shield.
Yeah.
You had a dragon you could ride to Pack-a-Punch. You had a special weapon that you could build. That you had a baby dragon on your arm.
Very cool. I got to use it once.
It was so cool. It's a great map.
Yeah.
Also,
It was
ironically, now considered one of the best.
Yeah. When it dropped, it was in that era of you just had the really, really bad map drop, and then this one came out and we're like, this is weird. But good. Then there was Revelations.
Which
People at first people really, really liked.
Then they
a
realized,
lot of the younger kids really, really liked it.
I love the map until I realized how easy it was.
That was why the little kids liked it. It really was quite simple.
I could get to round 100 with my eyes closed on that map.
Yeah, and people gave it crap because of it.
It's a good map still. If you don't get the one weapons, it's a great map. If you get one, it's fine. Apothec and Servant, I'm looking at you. You should not be in that map. It makes sense why you're in that map. You shouldn't be that good.
Yeah. And then there was Black Ops 4, which is where we're at right now.
Oh, boy!
The first release was Voyage of Despair.
Which is a different storyline entirely.
Basically Titanic.
It is the Titanic.
Yeah.
You're on the Titanic. It's a cool map. Wasn't executed well, but it's a cool map.
The idea behind it. We said that, I think, the first time we ever played it. The idea behind this is really great.
The detailing,
execution,
great.
Not so great. The way it played, not so great.
It makes sense, though. It's Titanic.
And then IX, which I really like.
It's a great map. No, once again, not part of the storyline.
No.
Different story entirely.
Yeah, this is a part of the Chaos Theory. Not Chaos Theory. Chaos Storyline, which is something we didn't even touch.
I so hope they continue.
Yeah, but I really liked IX. I like the idea, the brand new ideas that came with it. I think it's a good map.
It's a great map.
And then they remade Mob of the Dead with Blood of the Dead, which was part of the main storyline.
And this map is considered okay.
Yeah,
people really don't like it that much.
Another download then was Classified, which was a remake of 5,
which people loved.
Yeah,
and hated.
It had a different feel to it for sure.
They loved it until they figured out the Easter egg, and then they hated it because it wasn't an Easter egg. You had to survive to round 150. That's 8 hours in-game time on solo.
And then it was Dead of the Night, which I did not play.
It's a good map. It's a confusing map, but it's
brand new downloads, right?
It's the Chaos maps. It was okay. It was good. I enjoyed it. It's a little difficult until you get the wonder weapon, but even still afterwards, it's a very tight quarters map.
Yeah, and then finally Ancient Evil,
which was another great map. It was the best Chaos map of Black Ops 4.
I still have not gotten to see any gameplay of it. I kind of just after IX, we played a little bit of Classified, me and you. I think we opened up Blood of the Dead once together, and I was like, I'm just not enjoying this right now.
Black Ops 4 had a rough start, and it has a rough ending. It was a rough game. Black Ops 4, at the start, zombies, you had a max of 150 health, which was normal at the start, but you don't have Jug. And
I didn't mind that part.
The zombies are even faster. And at the time, zombie tigers could one-shot you.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
Hellhounds could one-shot you. Zombies, when they hit you, they basically hit you, grabbed, and pulled back a little bit. Yeah. It was rough. It was tough.
It wasn't good.
Then they added an extra 50 health, and they made the tigers do 100 damage instead of 150.
Helped a lot.
And then just
the hitting mechanics of the zombies.
They changed. They don't drag either.
They didn't do a triple swipe as often. It just seemed to, after that patch, it became a better game.
It was a better game. It's easier now. It makes more sense to be easier.
Yeah. Then there's the zombie maps outside of the Black Ops world, the outside Treyarch.
Oh, you forgot, you forgot Alpha Omega. And,
it wasn't even updated on this point because they're brand new.
Okay, Alpha Omega came out, which is the Nuketown remaster. Good map. Actually, probably the best Chaos map. Okay, sorry, Aether map, I think, I would say.
Yeah.
Then tagged
what we talked about in this whole thing was all Aether map, Aether timeline, Aether timeline. This is not. This is Chaos timeline that Black Ops 4 is taking care of.
Yeah, that guy's going.
Yeah. So Chaos timeline is what he's talking about right now.
Well, Alpha Omega is
Ether.
Is Ether, and it was probably the best of their time. And then Tog der Toten came out, which is the Call of the Dead remaster, and I think it is one of the worst maps I've ever played.
And basically, what Shay decided after that, I'm not buying another Call of Duty.
At that, well, okay.
Also, they said no more zombies.
They said no more zombies for the new Modern Warfare. I don't like the multiplayer.
And again, we kind of, it's part of the cycle. We understand that there was no zombies coming on this one.
Slightly.
Well, yeah. Then there's this, which is the zombie, not zombie. This is non-Treyarch zombies.
Starting off with Advanced Warfare, baby.
No, Call of Duty Ghost.
Well, it's an Extinction.
Yeah, again, this is zombies, not zombies. A lot of people do not consider it zombies, but it still falls in that timeline of somehow or another, some people consider it zombie.
It's a survival mode.
Yeah, I'm just going to run through them real quick, which is Point of Contact, Nightfall, Mayday, Awakening, and Exodus.
Ignore these.
None of those were really zombies.
There's not a single zombie in there.
It was...
Aliens.
Exactly, it was aliens. So, yeah. But
good game mode.
Worth mentioning if you're into this kind of survival round gameplay.
I enjoyed it. Not as much as zombies, but I did enjoy it.
Now we're on Advanced Warfare.
Hey.
Which is Outbreak.
Okay.
Infection.
Okay.
Carrier.
I heard it's one of the best.
And then Descent.
Which I heard is one of the worst.
Yeah, a lot of people. And then where Shay really liked this, even though it wasn't zombies, he liked this Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Zombies in Spaceland.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Was that the movie place?
Yes, it was the one where they're in the amusement park.
Yeah, amusement park. That's what.
Yes.
Then there was Raver in the Redwoods,
which is also a great map. I didn't play any. I didn't buy the DLC season for that.
Did you play Shaolin Shuffle?
No, but
that's a great name.
It's considered okay.
Not zombies.
It's okay. It's an okay map. It's a lot of people joked with it. Personally. They took they're used to the Serious Zombies storyline. I like goofy things every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good map. It's okay.
Then there was Attack of the Radioactive Thing.
That map is confusing. People say it's good. You have to know chemistry. It's weird.
I know chemistry.
You have to know what dance chemistry?
Dance chemistry?
Advanced.
Oh, yeah.
Like advanced. Like you're mixing chemicals like a 7 recipe item.
Mm-hmm.
It's advanced.
Yeah, I tested Advanced Proficient in it.
Oh, nice.
I was Advanced Proficient in Advanced Chemistry.
Doesn't
matter.
It was an okay map. It was decent.
And then Beast from Beyond. Again, I really didn't play Infinite Warfare.
Neither did I.
I didn't even buy it.
I did because I got Modern Warfare.
Yeah. Well, that's the only reason I would have bought it, but I didn't.
That map kind of blew, but had one of the best zombie boss fights in the game.
Okay.
So, you know what? Everything has its
Evens
redeeming price. Yeah. And then they have this own unique thing called a Zombies Boss Rush, where you can fight just the zombie boss, the main boss, and it's timed. And you can choose any weapon you want, any perks you want, within 100, I think it was a 15,000 limit. Which was really cool, and I wish Treyarch would do that.
That was a cool idea. And then lastly was Call of Duty World War II.
Which, okay.
They did their best.
The first map was amazing.
Which is called Grosstein House. Or Haus.
Okay, first two maps.
And the Final Reich.
The Final Reich was amazing. I had a blast playing it.
I remember.
Grosstein House was also amazing. It was a fun.
I played that one. It was fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
really close.
It's a box map. It is truly. It was the only official box map, but it was all right because it had
like
Easter eggs.
Nocturne Toten,
but smaller.
Different. Yeah.
It was amazing for a different reason, just to goof off.
Then there was the Darkest Shore.
That sucked.
The Shadowed Throne.
That sucked.
The Tortured Path, which had 3 different kind of style maps inside of it, which was Into the Storm, Across the Depth, and Beneath the Ice.
Those sucked.
And finally, the Frozen Dawn.
It also sucked.
Again, these were not zombie
Treyarch zombies
makers. They were other makers, and they took their shot at it.
Truly, it was really sad because it put us with a lot of hope of a really serious, gritty, bloody, gory zombies, which we had not had since really World at War.
That was the gritty.
That was as gritty as we got. It really brought in World War II brought in the gore back into Call of Duty,
Which was cool. I enjoyed it.
I did, but they didn't do their zombies very well after the first 2 maps.
And if anybody has stayed this long, you're a trooper, and thank you for stopping by.
I got to give you guys a handshake. Good work, guys. Good work.
And the audio as well. Thank you.
I'll just give you a little bit of a
So that's going to wrap up this.
zombie smorgasbord.
We were like, we need to finish zombies the right way, and we didn't want to do a 2-parter. It just needed to get done.
Done. If I had 2 parts, it'd be 2 hours.
Yeah, we can't do that. So for all of that, there is the last thing we do, which is shout out to social media. Go check out our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. All that's in the description below. Check us out on Spotify. You can find us on iTunes. Pretty much anywhere a podcast app is available. If you want to listen to it just in audio, you don't want to sit through a live full hour and 46 minutes.
I don't blame you. It was a little laggy.
You can go and check that out. You can skip around. That being said, if you donate $500 to our Patreon, you will get a sword. We have 2 swords now.
It was cool.
One of them is at my house at the moment.
Yep.
And it will come here eventually. But
just like when I'm done playing with it.
we were like, remember how we were always like, if one gets the one sword, we'll have to figure out something else? Well, we figured out something else.
Thank you, work.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to find. And then we are also somewhat semi-associated with podbelly.com. That is a place where you can go and basically, if you wanted to start a podcast, there's a way for you to learn how to do all that. They have information. There's going to be videos eventually. That just basically, if you're wanting to start out, it kind of tells you how to do it, what equipment works well at what price range. And also, there's a whole list of podcasts you can go check out that are already established. We're one of those that you can check out. They have 20 or 17 officially partnered with Podbelly, and then they have another 30 that are just there. We're part of the other 30.
Hi.
But they're all good podcasts that you can go and check out and listen to and, see what's up, see what's kind of how you do a podcast, just over all kinds of different subjects. I mean, serial killers, gaming like us. There's one for sports. There's another one for paranormal activity.
I can get the sports. That one. That makes... I can get good.
Well, hey, if you don't know sports, it might help you. You never know.
You never know.
It's one of those situations. And then, of course, partnered with them is Sofa King Podcast. They kind of are the reason everything started for Podbelly.
And kind of us.
Yeah, basically. I mean, we heard it, and we're like, we could do something like that.
We can do it.
We kind of found them at the same time we started doing Lightly Food. And
Food.
We wanted to do something outside of just the food thing because we figured out food thing is going to cost a lot of money. We'll only be able to do that once a month. We're not rich. And then, of course, now if we were trying to do that anyways, we would find out that we couldn't do that because of you.
I'm
and your
sorry.
Special genetics.
My brand.
Your brand. So there's that. But yeah, go check out Sofa King. Send that. If you go see Sofa King or Podbelly, tell them that we sent you. Like, hey, the 2 Dudes with Do told us about you guys. We wanted to check you out. That'll let them know that, hey, we're still shouting them out. We really appreciate them. That gives them a little bump.
Bumpity bump.
Speaking of bumps, have you ever took a bump of hot sauce? Well, I can tell you the best one to do it with is Bernie Brown hot sauce. It's not so spicy that you're going to die, but you'll feel it. And it's smooth, and it's
just
got a great
enough
texture.
to get a little bit of sweat on your brow.
And it's got a little bit of liquidness to it, so it's not super thick. You can really snort it fast. That's what a bump is, in case you were wondering. But if you wanted to just put it on your regular food, you could do that too. It works great that way.
That too.
It tastes great that way.
It works better that way.
And they do have merchandise on their website, which is BernieBrand.com. And if you use the code 2DudesWould that's the number 2 followed by Dudes Would Do, no capitals, no spaces, you'll get 10% off of whatever you purchase at their shop, including their hot sauces or their merchandise. And again, we're going to send some merchandise out to a random person that shares out any of our stuff and then clicks done on that random Facebook post. If you share out, I will mark you down. That way I know you're in the drawing. Outside of that, I think that's all I have to cover.
So basically what you're saying is Bernie Brand hot sauce makes you... Makes you...
There you go.
That was so disappointing.
Yeah, it was really anticlimactic, honestly.
Man, that's teasing right there.
And of course, we're in Spooktober, so go check out Teledocs on Twitch.com.
Spooky.
See what he's doing on Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah,
Basically.
pretty much. I skipped last Saturday just for the fact that I was tired.
Yeah, anytime he's available, he will try and do that. But his normal schedules is
Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and possibly Sundays at. I say 9:30, but it's always 9:45.
Yeah, it's around the 9:30 to 10 o'clock time frame, and that would be Pacific Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, it's going to be a little late. Also, it's on Twitch. And if you wanted to check out mine, it's Brixius at twitch.com or twitch.tv/Brixius. And I don't really have a schedule. It's more like that's kind of when we play together.
Yep.
I will stream that so you guys have the two dudes streaming games that we used to do.
Two dudes would do.
I think that's everything.
I
And
think we're good.
at an hour and 50 minutes, essentially, we
Pretty
are
much.
going to end this episode. So, again, thanks for stopping by. YouTube, you guys are awesome. Audio Land, you guys are amazing.
Spectacular.
And for Two Dudes Would Do,
And anything else we do.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Shay.
How do you do?
Still liking that new one.